Hi, I'm Schuett.
I'm Lukas Carlson.
We're playing Jund Monsters at Grand Prix Cincinnati. Jund Monsters is a pretty standard monster list that started with the combo of Mana Dorks, Domri Rade, and Courser of Kruphix. The combo there is that Courser lets you look at the top, peel lands off the top, Domri lets you draw more cards and keep the action going. We're playing black to pick up a couple nice cards here. It hurts the mana base a little, but we picked up Reaper of the Wild and Dreadbore main deck, and these are pretty good answers to a lot of problem decks.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the regular red-green monsters list, except we swapped out the forests and the mountains and put in shocklands in place of them. It makes matchups that are really hyper-aggressive a little worse because you have to take two, but you get access to what is basically all the sweetest cards.
Right.
It's basically a deck with Planeswalkers, removal, and every mythic and rare that's good in all the colors.
Yeah, the Planeswalkers kind of tie everything together. If you manage to get a Chandra, a Domri, and a Courser in play, it's really hard to lose that. You're effectively drawing almost 3 cards a turn.
It just doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Xenagos is really good against Desecration Demon is a primary use of him. The Dreadbore is also really good at killing Desecration Demon. Doesn't matter what it is, you can just kill it. You don't have to worry about Mizium Mortars not being big enough to kill it.
Or the creature being multicolored with something like Ultimate Price. Dreadbore just kills it for 2 mana, done. Don't have to worry about it.
It's not Hero's Downfall. The problem with Hero's Downfall, while it's an instant and great, the double black would be too much for it. We already have Stormbreath Dragon at double red, top of the curve, haste creature, hard to beat that. We did manage to keep 2 Mutavaults in as an anti-control card. It's just a great utility land, but you couldn't run more than that with all these color requirements.
And we were originally not playing Scavenging Ooze, but with the rise of the red-white burn deck, and it's the game life itself is very good. And even against monsters, when you're playing Dreadboards and more removal spells from the sideboard, your Scavenging Oozes can become bigger than their Polukranos.
I like it quite a bit in the mirror.
It's very good in the mirror, because if you don't draw a mana guy, you can play a Scavenging Ooze and then play a Domri and just kind of take over from there.
There's a couple rules about playing the mirror. You don't keep a hand without a mana dork. It's just, you can't win.
You fall way too far behind with how high the mana cost is for these guys. You're going to be sitting doing nothing the first couple turns, and then you're going to be so far behind by the time you actually do something that the game could be over.
But the real benefit of playing black is in the sideboard. In the sideboard, you pick up so many things that you absolutely need in order to win some of these. The Ultimate Price kills Master of Waves. It's a great answer to that. It kills Polukranos, it kills Stormbreath Dragon, it kills Desecration Demon. There's not many cards that you actually care about that it doesn't kill. You care about Reaper, you care about Boros Reckoner, and that's about it outside of that.
And one of the biggest things, the reason you play this over something like regular red-green monsters is the sideboard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Against a deck like blue-white, you can be favored, but depending how the game goes, your Planeswalkers might not get there. Here you're bringing in 12 cards. More Planeswalkers, Mistcutters that can't be countered, Golgari Charms that kill enchantments to regenerate your guys, Rakdos returns Sire. Basically, you're putting in reactive cards, but they're so good on their own that there's just no reason not to play the black splash. And then having access to Ultimate Price to kill Desecration Demon and even Master of Waves is huge, whereas before against red-green, you wouldn't have an answer to those, and you could just lose to just that card.
You would have to play bad cards like Plummet, and now you get to play good cards like Ultimate Price that kill both Lifebane Zombie, Pack Rat, Desecration Demon. You know, almost every card that you care about in the black deck, this kills. Whereas before you had to run Plummet, which kills one card that, you know. Golgari Charm, all 3 modes of this are relevant. It's really amazing that you can bring it in against Mono Blue Devotion just to kill Master of Waves and their tokens. You can bring it in against the control decks to kill enchantments and regenerate. It's an incredibly versatile card. We had Abrupt Decays, and they just became Golgari Charms because they're more versatile.
And one of the biggest things is you're siding out a lot of creatures when you play against blue-white, and blue-white's been everywhere today.
Yeah.
And the big thing is you're bringing in more haymakers in place of cards like Polukranos that typically don't do a whole lot. It's a 5/5 or 4 then dies.
Right.
You play something like a Sire of Insanity, you never have to worry about Asphyx's Revelation beating you because they're just going to have no cards in hand. You're going to have a 6/4, and they have to answer it or they just lose the game on the spot.
I've really enjoyed Chandra. Chandra has killed a lot of Lifebane zombies for me today.
Me too.
That's a very, very powerful answer to a very problematic card. The problem with Lifebane Zombie is that I can't play a Xenagos if he has a Lifebane Zombie because he can just kill my Xenagos. But with Chandra, now I get to kill his Lifebane Zombie, and next turn I get to draw a card off of it. It's really a win there.
And being able to make Desecration Demon not be able to block is huge. Just ping him for one, make him not block, and just send him with the team, which can easily seal the game. And like we said earlier, Courser with Chandra is just sometimes it doesn't feel fair. We actually played 3 Xenagos initially, but the Chandra is just so good in the main that we had to put one in the main for Xenagos.
The deck switches to aggro mode very quickly, where you kind of build a critical mass of kind of dorky creatures that aren't that great, and then the next thing you know, you're attacking with Stormbreath Dragons in the air and you're monstrosing them. It really kind of it gets going very quickly, and once it gets going, it's hard to stop.
The biggest draw is there's just not a bad card in the deck. The worst card in the deck are the mana guys, and you want those to play all your better cards.
Right.
So there's not one bad card in the deck that you're upset to draw.
That's been one of the best features of this is I don't have a lot of bad top decks, and even on top of that, I have lots of ways to scry those bad top decks away. Between Temple of Abandon, Reaper of Wild triggers, the scry trigger on Reaper of Wild is not to be underestimated. To throw bad cards away on a Supreme Verdict is a fantastic use.
There's just surprisingly so much synergy with this deck that's just creatures and planeswalkers, and the amount of synergy that you actually get with the deck is surprising, and it's too powerful to ignore.